Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. Can you guys hear me okay? Let me know if you guys can hear me because I blew my electronics on Friday. So not sure if my mic is working proper. All right, let's get started. Actually, let me try and listen to it. Okay. Oh my Lord. Testing, testing. I blew my expensive headphones. You guys, the energy has been super intense, super pronounced, and just super potent. I asked what this reading was going to be about, and what I heard is fully in your power and ending old cycles. Different as in distorted. I don't want to buy a new mic because I'm going to blow that as well. I'm just saying, you know. I was going to get, this was like a while ago, I was going to get the same mic that Joe Rogan uses, like exact same setup. And I was like, I'm just going to blow it. If I can't gather my energy and shield my mic. You hear an echo? How about now? Do you still hear an echo? All right, I'm just getting the cards ready. Okay. Yeah, it was weird. The other day I was teaching class and I surged energy and it totally took out my electronics. And as I was trying to get my mic to work again, from my microphone started playing the radio. And I was just like, sorry, class is done. All right. Ooh, I like this. I like this a lot. I like this a lot. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay. Power. You're stepping into a place of power. Your power has grown tremendously. You've not allowed yourself to recognize how much your power has grown, but it has grown nonetheless. And what's happening is your awareness of your true strength, your capacity, your capability. It's causing you to feel very destabilized because you're feeling like, okay, am I imagining this? Am I just, saying crazy stuff? Is this really happening? Is this really like what is happening? It is. It is. It's what's happening. You're stepping into your power. You're beginning to understand more of yourself. You're beginning to realize you're not an average person. I know it's hard. It's hard to allow ourselves to accept that we are not built for mediocrity, that we are not built to simply fit in, that we have a different purpose, an elevated purpose that we are obligated to fulfill, this destined path, this divine work of service, right? And I think for many of us, we're beginning to really understand this. And as we grow in our understanding of this, our ability to accept is being very much challenged. Like we can easily accept other people, but accepting ourselves, accepting the truth of our gravity, that is very, very difficult. That is very, very difficult. I get it. I get it. But here's the thing. As you step into this space, old cycles are going to circle back around. You need to be ready for this. You need to absolutely be ready for this. Don't allow yourself to get sucked back into those spaces that have, at some point in your life, once upon a time, a long time ago, convinced you to play small. Now I understand what happened. I was live yesterday, not realizing what day, to my sanctuary folks. I'm very sorry. I didn't realize it was Saturday. I had no sense of time, and I was just like, oh, let me just go ahead and live stream on TikTok real quick, not realizing it was Saturday. And then I was on for like 5 hours. Oh, shoot. Yeah. And then I just realized this morning, oh my God, yesterday was Saturday. Today is Sunday. I missed our chat. So yesterday there was this thing. I know, don't look at my fingers. Yesterday I was live, and near the beginning of the live stream, someone comes on and they're like, hi, Emmy. And I didn't notice at first. And then I was looking at my laptop and I was like, oh, that's weird. Right. And then they commented like, hi, Emmy, it's me. And then they said their name, and I'm just like, that's odd that you're wanting to interact with me, especially publicly. Because last I remember, yeah, no, you were part of a group chat that was basically planning on how you were going to destroy me and my business, and that I was demonic, and that I needed to be destroyed. And you wanted to harm me. Your little group wanted to harm me. And they're like, no, no harm. Honey, someone from your group gave me the entire chat. They screenshot the entire chat. Like literally every conversation for weeks was given to me without me asking. They were like, I cannot stomach this any further. You need to know they want to hurt you. You've done nothing but help people. And they didn't know that I knew, because I never said anything. I didn't say anything. I didn't do anything. I just kept on trucking, you know? And so their arrival on the live stream yesterday, I was like, just want to give you an FYI, I'm not the same girl. I'm not the same girl. So if you're still hanging out with your little group, I absolutely have the capacity and the willingness to correct bitches. I do. I'm not the same person anymore. As you have changed, you need to allow yourself to accept the ways in which you have changed. And of course, there were a couple of people who were like, oh my God, you're so angry. Angry for what? You have no idea of my history and what these people attempted to do. You have no idea of the amount of grace that I've shown so many wretched people who have gone out of their way. That was not my appropriate place to be the whipping girl, to be the one that receives all of this extremely malignant intention from people I never wronged. I am very proud to say I'm not the same girl. I'm also very proud to share the history of me. That is not something I am ever going to be ashamed of. There is nothing in your life that you have to be ashamed of. People will have their opinions. People will say what they say. Regardless, go deep into the center of your power and end those old cycles that are coming forward. Boundaries need to be enforced. Boundaries absolutely need to be enforced. Does that mean there's a need for aggressive confrontation? Not necessarily. There was nothing aggressive in what I communicated. It was not communicated in an aggressive way whatsoever. It was very firm. It was very direct. And it let them know everything they need to know. We are not besties that kind of just, fell out of touch because life got busy. No, I cut contact with you because you are actively planning with 5 other people ways to harm me. Let me mute this. So just very clear within myself, right? Does that mean I'm holding a grudge? No, that means I'm no longer going to lie to myself about the person that you are. Yes, you appear very sweet. Very, very, very sweet. But you're also two-faced. I wear only one face and there's no mask on it. I am who I am. And now your girl has standards. These old cycles that are trying to creep back up, no. No. And I tell you, as TikTok keeps spreading me out further, all of these people from the past will be coming across my content again. Right? That's fine. That's fine. They can go ahead and quietly benefit from the content. They could watch these videos and, get their messages from soul. That's fine. That's okay with me. But please, don't try and play me for stupid like I didn't know. I promise you, for every single group that tried to do harmful things to me, that plotted and planned, there was at least one person in each of those groups that quietly came to me and provided me all of the screenshots. And I said nothing and did nothing and just kept right on going. I am fully aware of every single group. So if you think you're going to come back around and reinitiate cycles with me, if you address me publicly, I will address you publicly. If you come around privately, I will address you privately, but you will be made aware we will never be friends. I will never trust you. I have seen your face, and it is what it is. You try again, this time you will get a reaction from me. This time you will get a response, whether it be legal, whether it be energetic, no more. And I'm well within my right and my authority to secure myself and all of my assets, everything I have worked so hard for. When you guys work so hard for something, it does not make you a bigger person or more spiritual or more evolved to allow others to tarnish it. It just means you don't love yourself yet. I know this because I did this. I know this because I did this. I'm not speaking from a space of like, no, guys, look at me. I do everything right. No, it's like, guys, let me tell you, I did it. I did that. These motherfuckers, they still were motherfuckers to me. My silence emboldened them. They thought I was scared because there was a lot of them. These days, I don't give a fuck. I wish a motherfucker would. I wish a motherfucker would. Because let me tell you, you come back around to try and finish what you failed to do the first time, I'm going to stomp you out. You want to light a fire? You can't burn a phoenix. I will stomp you out of that grass. You split-tongued motherfucking snakes. And that's the only appropriate response from me at this point. Again, when you know your history, when you know what you have endured, You do not volunteer to do it again. It didn't make you look like the good person the last time, honey. It didn't. Does that mean you need confrontation every single time? No. No, it does not mean that. But it does mean you need to address what needs to be addressed. Part of being a powerful person is using your power responsibly. Not everything needs to be banished. Some things are allowed to come back, especially during this period, in order to give you a very clear understanding of how much you have grown. You have grown a lot. In the time that you have spent with me, you have learned to let go of this repeating thought that has kept you shackled to the ways in which you were wronged. Yes, acknowledge how you were wronged. Yes, you felt whatever you felt about it. Also, yes, you are moving on from that, and you will not be brought back to that same space of allowing people to take advantage of your grace, your kindness, and allowing them to misconstrue that grace and kindness for weakness and fear. No, no more. That stops. That stops right now. It has to stop. And you have to be the one to stop it. Michael says, I have all these devices in here. Michael says to go ahead and oh, now you're going to have me do it because freaking broke all my mics, right? All my mics are broken. Where did I put it? Was it that? No, not that. Okay. Oh, it's this. Let's go ahead. Michael says it's important for you guys to personally witness the way in which I addressed what I addressed. It's airdropping. Okay. It's airdropping. So that you understand what I mean when I say you need to address it, okay? So as part of my my team's efforts to spread my work through social media, my live streams are screen recorded. I'm going to continue forward while it's airdropping. I don't have that much time this morning. So there's nothing about you that you need to keep secret, but there's nothing about you that you need to confess either. You just own your life. And as the things that need to happen, happen, and parts of your history are brought to the surface again, it's okay. It's an opportunity for you to tap into this space of reevaluating how you did the last time and making the appropriate changes this time around, you know? I know. She started shaking. She was scared. And you'll see, there was, I don't feel like I was speaking in an aggressive tone. I was just kind of like, oh, that's weird. People are weird. People are super weird. Ooh. Like, because they are. As you own every aspect of your life, every nuanced detail of your history, you step into a place of your true feminine power. You step into a place of your true feminine power. It's time for you to step into that, to really allow yourself the time and the space to create. Create intentionally. create opportunities for yourself to grow and expand in your awareness of who you are and how you are and maybe what you need to do, right? As you do that, as you step fully in your power and end those old cycles, I am very happy to share. You enter into a space of prosperity. This space of prosperity can be a space involving financial abundance. It can be a space involving emotional abundance, friendship, all kind of different amazing, amazing, amazing things. Amazing, amazing, amazing things. Let yourself enter into there. 1 second, guys. All right, okay, hold on. I got to take down the caption so that you can see the full video. All right, I don't know if you could read the words, but here it goes. No, Sarah, I don't do astro. I'm astro illiterate. And I don't do human energy. I don't know that either. I'm doing bioscans, which it comes from life, being the scan. Please make sure you follow and share, and that's where I'm going to be picking from. Let's see. I am very unique. Thank you for that. Yes. Annie. Ooh, wait a minute. Hi, Wherein. I'm surprised that you're willing to interact with me. Last I remember, you were part of the group that was planning to harm me. People are fucking weird. That's weird. Yeah. So just a little like update. I'm not the same girl anymore. I used to be really, really nice, but kind of because of groups like the group you were in, I'm not that girl anymore. So if you're still part of that group, and I'm fully aware because there were those in that group that gave me screenshots of all the plotting. And I also can tell when someone is lying to me. It's kind of embarrassing, so I wouldn't blame you for denying it, but just so you're aware, I am not the same girl anymore. So if you're still homies with those people, be careful. Because now I will absolutely correct bitches. Not saying you are one unless you're choosing to be, but just the word to the wise, Wherein, I'm not the same girl anymore. And it's because of shit like that where, yeah, and I have tons, weeks worth of screenshots of you and those folks absolutely plotting. So you can deny it if you want, but I'm absolutely aware. I know you didn't think I was aware because up until recently, I just let people get away with all kind of bullshit. I let people get away with all sorts of really fucked up shit that they were plotting to do to me, to ruin my business and, all kind of shit. I'm fully aware. But again, I'm not the same girl. So, I will absolutely, very passionately and irrevocably correct bitch ass behavior. And if y'all want to bring it on a live stream, I will fucking address that shit on a live stream. If you want to keep it private, like how you guys did before, cowardly ass shit, plotting, watching my live streams and looking for opportunities to be hurtful and harmful to me with zero provocation, I'll correct that shit privately. But just know, I will not let shit go anymore. I am not the same girl. Thanks to people like you. See what I'm saying? You can be firm and clear. It doesn't have to be completely confrontational. You know, it doesn't have to be screaming and, you know, what I communicated was very clear. And yeah, no, there was a part of me that was like, that's so weird. Why would you think to be like, hey girl, it's me? We're not homies. I tried to be your homie. I thought you were very sweet. Thought. But when you can spend weeks not saying anything, not saying to your friends, guys, Emmy didn't do anything to us. Let's just like move forward, right? You agreeing like, I know, it's like messed up. What's messed up? That I just got quiet and was like, you know what? I'm uncomfortable. I'm going to remove myself from this chat. I'm just really uncomfortable with the way conversations are going. I'm good. You know, like you guys do whatever you do. I'm good. Right. I'm not down for group chats where talking shit about people and just like nonstop drama and like I'm good. That's how I've always been. I'm good off that. It's not to say that if I don't like someone, like there's a history there, that I'm so perfect that I'm not going to talk shit. No, I got my like 3 people who I'm like, girl, you know this bitch. Girl, let me tell you, this bitch tried to blah, blah, blah. I'm a human, but you have to have a history with me for me to have an opinion like that about you. I'm not one to just like about everybody that I could think of. And I'm not okay being in environments where people are doing that as a way to bond. That's not, I'm good. I'm good. You know, I'm good. So I'm not going back to those cycles. If you've been through similar things, don't go back to those cycles. Just don't. Don't. Whatever spaces you've outgrown, why are you going to try and reinsert yourself there? They weren't serving anything that nourished you back then. I promise you, they're not going to serve anything that nourishes you now. As a matter of fact, all that's happened during the time that has passed is a growth in toxicity. People like that don't grow. They don't. They don't grow. Instead, they expand on their perception of how others are doing them wrong and, you know, all of that loveliness. You don't need any of that. You need to focus on what your soul is trying to bring you. Survival, false promises. You already survived what happened in the past. You don't need to lie to yourself about the potentiality of rekindling some old toxic connection. You don't need to. Whatever they're going to promise you, it's a false promise. I wouldn't be surprised if that particular group, because there were quite a few groups, if that particular group had a little group chat in the middle of that live stream. I wouldn't be surprised. And it's no problem to me. Let them continue. Honestly. I would have no problem if they continued their plans. Because this time, I will absolutely do something about it. Especially to that old one. I forget your name. You're married. You bought a lot of swords from me. You saw my heart. You saw how I am, the truth of me. And rather than de-escalate that situation, you advise them we have to be careful about what we say until we're ready. I haven't forgotten what I saw. It will trigger the rules of engagement and then we'll be in trouble, right? Especially you. How insignificant you are that I don't even remember your name. But I bet you'll never forget mine. To my community, no, that's a type of gravity you hold. That's why we have a resonance. That's why you resonate with me. You have the type of existence that once someone sees you, once they know you, they will never forget you. Not your face, not your name, not your energy. They're sweating me because I walked away. That's the history of the dramas that start from me. Because these people get addicted to access to me. This is why I don't go in any messenger. I don't open messenger. I'm not in the emails. I'm not in any of that. I'm in my own little hermit world. If I haven't met you in real life, the chances of you being able to connect with me at this point, no. I'm very, very careful who I interact with, and I'm not going to let it go deep. Because when people interact with me on a private level, they get very addicted to my energy. This has just been true my entire life. And then they get angry when the contact is taken away. Their ability to reach me is taken away. Yeah, they wild out. Even if I'm just like, okay, I'm just really uncomfortable. I'm just backing up. Like, you guys continue, no biggie. And that's just how it is. That's how it is. And I think part of the reason things happened the way they did like that was because I was afraid to speak my truth. It was during that period, after a couple more groups were formed, that I eventually ended up having an issue with my thyroid. Yeah. And it was an acute issue with my thyroid to where my hands and my feet turned orange. Yeah. Yeah. I created such a dependency on me for thousands of people on Facebook that when I just quietly, I was like, you know what, you guys, this is too much for me. I'm an introvert. This is too much. I need to deactivate my accounts for a little bit and just spend time with my family. The uproar, the uproar, people threatening other people like, you did this, you made her leave. No, all of y'all overwhelmed me at this point. I just need to go. I just need quiet. I need a normal life. I need to return back to a normal space. And that's when everything was just like powder keg. Your needs are important. And I knew it was a powder keg because quite a few people had the ability to privately contact me then. And they were all messaging, oh my God, Emmy, you need to reactivate your account because this and that. And oh my God, everything is going crazy. People are threatening each other. I was like, you know what? I am in the valley of peace with my family. I'm turning my phone off. I will be in the valley of peace for a week. You guys will need to manage. I was literally in the valley of peace, surrounded by crystals. The Valley of Peace in Arkansas, oh my God, it's a Zen space. It is. I almost actually moved there. I loved it so much. But I needed, even as a giver, to revert back into my sacred space of just being with my family, immersed in the quiet and the peace. When you find yourself losing track of what peace means to you and where that peace is stored, you need to disconnect from everything for a little bit and reconnect with your peace, reconnect with your center space. Okay. Yeah. And of course, because people are just weird. People are just weird. Whatever your sacred purpose is, it will still be there. You can take a few days, you can take a week. For some, you might even need to take a month. Your sacred purpose will still be there. Um, the world won't end just because you take time to yourself. It won't. And part of the way I know I'm not doing the same thing this time around is because if I go quiet for a little bit, because there's honestly a lot of things happening in my personal life that I don't share on here, despite it seeming like I share everything, there's a lot of things that are happening in my personal life that I don't share. Okay, I finished drinking already. um, I know that I'm not doing that same thing I did before because when I go quiet for a bit, as long as it's within reason, right? Um, our community here is like, okay, maybe she's just spending time with her family. There might be some things going on, but let's just give her some time. She always comes back, right? Whereas before, I don't live stream one day and everyone's like, oh my God, Emmy's died. There's something bad happened. That's creating a dependency. As much as I love the time we spend together, I do not want you dependent on me. Because to become dependent on me is to not be shoulder to shoulder with me. I want you to step into a space where you recognize you are absolutely, wholeheartedly my equal in every way. You can handle what you are going through. It is challenging you to expand your awareness of your capacity. You can handle everything life sends your way. You have up to this point. Yes, you might have felt emotions. Yes, you might have felt some type of way about something that happened, something someone said, something that was done. That's okay. That's part of why you're in a human body, to experience those emotions. You've handled everything life has brought to you thus far. You've kept going. This is no different. Whatever you're going through right now is no different. It is no different at all. The Swan Queen, transformation, intuition, and patience. It's in reverse. So this is telling me that maybe you are the Swan Queen and you're falling into this stereotype of how swans are typically seen as very just pretty and fragile. I tell you, swans are aggressive AF. I don't F with swans. I don't F with geese. I don't F with duck. I don't F with chickens either. Avians. Avians, I don't play with them. I don't play with them. They scare me because they look delicate, but they're not. They're not. They're not. And they don't even need any like we were on a cross country RV trip. My little family. Well, I don't have a little family. I have a huge family. My family and my mom. We went on a cross country RV trip, and one of the RV parks that we were at, the place that they put us in, it was right beside the edge of the pond. It was a beautiful scene. It was a huge pond, and there were swans in the pond. So I'm inside the RV getting the marshmallows ready because we're going to do s'mores with my then toddlers, and I hear them squealing outside because they're just so tickled by something. And I look out and they're swans. My kids are not throwing anything. They're just standing there like amused because swans, they're so pretty. It's a pair of them. And it was the most beautiful scene. The sun was setting. And I go out there with all the stuff and I stand there. And as soon as I stand there, the swans came to the shore. They came to the shore. Luckily, it was not a beach. It was like a cutoff and they couldn't hop on. They came to the shore and they hissed and I was like, what the fuck? Yes, they were aggressive. And yep, nope, kids, get in the RV. Crazy ass birds. I will throw rocks at you. Get away. We're not even playing with you. We just looking. Right? My kids weren't being any type of aggressive towards them. They're toddlers. And my toddlers were very, very docile. Very docile. Yep, nope. Swans look delicate, but they're badass. If you are the Swan Queen, you need to step into that role of being able to defend yourself. I hear that swans are even more aggressive when they have their little babies. I forgot what their babies are called, but yeah, no, you need to protect your inner child, and you need to address approaching threats properly. You are not to shrink away. You are not to shrink away. You are to acknowledge it for what it is. Something that needs to be watched as you continue forward. Do not turn your back to it until you are a safe distance away. Be very observant. I'm not talking about paranoid. I'm talking about being observant, okay? You are not to allow yourself to get pulled back into those same dramas because you're ignoring, because you're pretending, because you're not letting yourself recognize exactly what this is. It's the old cycles popping back up, wanting to pull you back, seeing if you've learned from the last time. All of the messed up stuff that's happened to me in the past, I'm not repeating those things. I am not a victim. I co-created those with those people. They were necessary for me to experience back then so that I could have an understanding that I have now. There was nothing weak about what you went through and the way people took advantage of your patience and your kindness. There was nothing weak about that. However, it was inappropriate levels of patience and kindness. So it's about calibrating how much of various parts of you are allowed to come forward for any given circumstance. The dream walker, dreams, the collective good, illusions, but it's in reverse. All right, look at this imagery. So we have a fairy bringing an orb of light, she's playing a flute. There's some type of serpent or dragon there, and then there's an egret. Let's see what the egret means. Okay. Patience, patience, patience. Soon you'll get your reward. This is a time to rely more on yourself than on others to provide what you need. Although it's useful to be aware of what you're feeling, it's better to rely on your intelligence and wit in this situation. So definitely something is percolating, and then it says to look at Heron. You've approached the opportunity before you at a leisurely pace. Now it's time to grab it and go for it with gusto. It's time to push forward. And I think that's why these old cycles are popping up. It's to prevent you from pushing forward with gusto. By meeting this challenging situation head on, remember what I said, address it appropriately. Don't ignore it. Don't pretend it's okay if it's not okay. By meeting this challenging situation head on, you'll discover that you have some powerful gifts and skills that you are unaware of. If one way isn't working, try another and don't get stuck in any single approach. Ooh. Spend a day or two with no plans or agenda, guided only by your intuition. Whether a day of activity, quiet reflection, or a combination, take full responsibility for your thoughts, feelings, and actions rather than blaming others or life circumstance. This is the time for you to correct the distortions that arose from the way an old circumstance was handled. Sisters of the season, cycles of growth, natural law, and divine order. Ooh. Don't get things confused. I think for some of you, this might play out as a realization that someone was part of your previous history as a soul, something from a previous life. A lot of the people who formed these groups, they were the heads of the groups that were formed to try and be intentionally hurtful and harmful to me. Unfortunately, I had past lives with them. Just because someone shares a past life with you doesn't mean you guys were BFFs or lovers in that life. Be very careful with that. Be very, very careful with that. They will present things to you as though, like, no. Case in point, there was an individual who was part of a previous life history of mine. They claim that they are part of the trusted circle, that they should be allowed into my life, no restrictions. No. They had a past life reading on a public live stream. That memory was when I was an empress. That individual had stolen my newborn. So myself and the emperor, we chased them down in the forest and we beheaded them in the forest in order to get my child back. Trusted circle. This is the same person that not too long ago, a couple of years ago, they went ahead and managed to gain access to the inside of my siblings' house, where they waited for me until what time in the morning to come home because they were under the impression that we lived together. Yeah. Yeah. Knowing that they had already been banned from all platforms, and I was very clear, like, no, no, right? Just because you share a past life history does not mean it was a good one. Just because someone feels familiar to you does not mean they have good intentions. You give them enough time, they will show you their true face. And until you see the truth of who they are and how they fit into your life, you do not let them in. You do not accept them as soul family. No. Those old cycles need to end. They need to end. You need to leave them where they are. They need to end. There is no point in rehashing any of that. Someone wants to apologize for me because of whatever. Honey, you don't have to apologize. We both learned everything we needed to learn. That's in the past. But depending on what we needed to learn, there's a high likelihood that what I learned is I will never allow you into my life again. And what you learned is how much you actually need me there. That's unfortunate. But carry on with life anyways, right? The dragon's duel, inner conflict, morality, conscious choice, it's in reverse. There's no need to duel yourself anymore, right? There's no more fighting yourself. Release the inner conflict. Choose what you need, and there will be no conflict. Notice how I said need, right? When you forego your needs to appease someone's hurt feelings, that's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. For the people that I love, they would never allow me to compromise that. They would never allow me to compromise my need just to appease their hurt feelings, right? They would never. And maybe what you need to know is that the people who you give these special labels to, are they worthy of those labels? Are these people who will always take into account what you're going through and all of these different things? They don't ever want you to feel taken advantage of. They don't ever, like none of that. Or is it people who, you said it was okay, so I guess it's okay, but they know you're struggling. They know you're struggling. They know your situation, but because you said it's okay, despite them knowing it's not okay, they're going to have it anyways. Because, you said it was okay. That's a very shady type person. You don't need that in your life. But your standards will leave no one in my life, and then you will have peace. And you will have all of this free space and the quiet, the stillness to finally welcome in the people who promote nothing but quiet and stillness, who support and protect your peace. There is no one in my life right now that I consider some degree of friend or soul family that would ever compromise my peace. Not a single person in my life that treats me like a dumping ground. Do you know how many people I've lost over the years? Those weren't losses. I didn't lose a single person. I released back into the wild the feral motherfuckers who don't know how to act right. I was just copying what Michael said. He says my delivery was impeccable. He says, was not a loss. They were feral. They belong in the wilderness. Sometimes I love when Michael chirps. When he chirps his little zingers. I released the feral ones back into the wilderness. 'Twas not a loss. Anyways, the eyes of beauty, positive expectations, clarity. When your expectations are in alignment with what you deserve, in alignment with what your soul is instructing you, you will have clarity like no other. You will. And the things that have happened in the past, they'll stay in the past. You saw the way I addressed that person in the live stream. Like, I had to be very firm. I couldn't be playful in that. Was I angry? Not really. It's like, whatever. It was what it was. It was what it was. That's not now. I'm not there. I'm not even the same person. It is what it is. Right? I found it weird. I did. Found it very weird, actually. Like, oh, like that? He's just like we're homies or BFFs? Damn. What happened to you that made you feel that approach was a good idea? That's funny. But there's no need to continue living in the past, okay, guys? The altar priestess, preparation, prayer, sacred ritual. Preparation, prayer, sacred ritual. Your higher self. Your higher self is preparing you for something. Whatever cycle you're in right now, whatever process you are finishing up, It's part of a sacred ritual. It is. It's part of a sacred ritual. Well, the reason I got irritated was because they tried to lie to my face, like, "Hi, no harm." Oh my god. What in the fake ass SoCal are you talking about, girlfriend? What in the fake ass SoCal are you talking about? No. What do you mean no harm? Yeah. Mhm. Now had they said, like, something along the lines of, Emmy, I don't even know what got into me then. I had an issue being there. I didn't know how to stop it. And it didn't sit right with me. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I was part of that group. I would have been like, okay, well, girlfriend, don't worry about it. Just, no biggie. But I just need to let you know I'm not the same person. So I don't want no drama. But if people bring me drama now, it's going to be handled differently. No biggie though. It would have been a completely different reaction. Completely different. Because some people grow. Some people, when they're exposed to those types of disgusting environments, that is the impetus for growth. What if that's why you had to go through the things you've been through and been immersed in the environments, toxic, malignant environments that you have existed in at some point, so that you could cultivate the most beautiful parts of you, to encourage, to trigger the growth, right? I had to go through quite a bit to trigger the type of growth that I've allowed myself to finally have. I'm not going to identify as someone's victim. No, it's true. There were people who tried to victimize me. I heard you, whoever that was. Yeah, but they tried to make you their victim. They did. Will I identify as such? No, because I co created that. I tell you, they could not have done the things they did had I not given passive permission for it to occur. Did I deserve it? No. Did I ask for it? No. Did I allow it? Yes, I did. I allowed it. I unknowingly allowed it. And that's my part in how I co created that. You have the power to co create or completely halt whatever it is that you're dealing with. Without your participation to some degree, it will not be able to perpetuate. It won't. It just won't. That's how powerful you are. It won't perpetuate. No matter what, keep your integrity. Okay? Don't match energies, don't reflect. No. Keep your integrity. Keep your integrity. Always. Never be a mirror of a lesser consciousness. Never become a monster to fight the monster. Because you know what happens? At the end of that fight, there will still be a monster standing. The only thing worse than losing to a monster is becoming one yourself. Never compromise your integrity. Ever. Hope. You don't need to hope. This is a process that you're already in. This is happening whether you want to recognize, whether you want to actively participate or not. It's happening for you. You're reaching levels of awareness that are crucial for the next part. So, for those of us who are fighting it, we're not allowing in the communications from soul. That's okay. Soul will find another way. For those of us who are fighting it, we're also not allowing ourselves to shine. You're still trying to play small. That's okay. Soul will break you open to allow more of your light out. If you don't want to be shattered, I suggest you simply remove the robe, remove the cloak that you wear to hide the gravity of you. It's simple, but oh so uncomfortable. Oh, so uncomfortable. Oh, that's interesting. That's so uncomfortable. As you guys know, some of you know, most of you know. I've actively been in the process of preparing to do a figure competition, like a bodybuilding competition. And it's funny because, yeah, I don't wear bikinis. I'm usually extremely covered up. I don't wear shorts, not even Bermuda shorts. I don't wear shorts. Um, I always have pants on, and the only thing that changes for my lower half is how many layers of pants I have on. I'm not joking. And up until fairly recent, yeah, you'd never even catch me in a tank top because that's too much skin. I have sensory issues, and I'm also extremely like self-conscious about exposed skin. Yeah. So, wow, holding on to that robe so tightly, trying to hide everything, right? No, I'm not embarrassed of my body shape. I just don't. I've had such uh, an in-depth history of people at pretty much any age of my entire life hypersexualizing me. I just don't like it. I don't like that kind of attention at all. And it's interesting that I'm working so hard for an end goal that requires me basically being in bejeweled tiny ass underwear. And these images will be released publicly. And that's going to have to be okay. That's part of how I'm going to shine. Learning to unrobe the unnecessary. How will people see your strength? Is Michael saying this? How will people see your strength, your dedication, if you leave all the things you've worked on so covered up? How will they? They can't. Are you trying to prove something? Not necessarily. I think what's happening here is your soul is just asking you to allow people to witness the truth of you, the reality of you, not what you pretend to be, not what you present yourself as, but the true, real, and raw you. You've been being prepared for something profound. And as part of your preparation, you've been on a sacred journey, a meandering path through the wilderness of soul, you know? During this process, at certain points, you've lost compassion for self. You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. You'll find that compassion again, hopefully, before soul chooses to shatter the cloak so that more of your light can shine. There is something that happens when you choose what soul is asking you to do. You feel as though your power, your autonomy, your sovereignty is left intact because you chose it, versus soul using life circumstance to force you into a space of surrender, surrender to its will, surrender to its divine plan that it's already orchestrated for you. Soul has been patient. And what has soul been patient about? This process. What is this process about? Accepting you have a worth, that you are worthy of what you were designed to do in this life. This is not something you have to earn. This is something you have always been. And this sacred journey and the processes you've been on have been nothing but an attempt to undo the programs and conditioning that caused you to believe anything outside of the truth of who you are and what you are capable of. Fully in your power and ending old cycles. Those cycles from childhood that are repeated with strangers in your adulthood, they need to be allowed to end. They just do. It's time. You're no longer a child. It's time to allow the healing. It's time to allow the growth. It's time to allow yourself to get into a space within yourself where you can view things from a space of neutrality. This is not about ignoring. This is about acknowledging with the emotions not so entrenched, right? So guys, I gotta get going because I have class. See what I'm saying? If you are free later and would like me to work on you, I'm gonna be doing the empowerment tea party. If you'd like to get a scan, get a reading, get energy work done, some etheric medicine work. Ooh, sorry. Click on that QR code or the link in the comment. I just got a notification. You must realize no one is like you. Here's why. You're about to accomplish something big. Oof, I'm saying. Excuse me. I take those as confirmation that something huge is coming. It's going to happen for you. It's going to happen for you. Let it happen for you. For those who are wanting to learn how to harness energy the way I do, please click on this QR code or the link in the comment. The Morphogenetic Fundamentals workshop is coming quickly. It's just a couple weeks away. I don't know if there are basic seats left, but there are enhanced ticket seats left. I also have, I believe the week after that, the Black Magic Revocation Workshop. This is perfect for those who have been negatively impacted by the dark works of others. You ready to take your life back? You ready to defend your space? Click on that QR code or the link in the comment. And for those who are ready to unplug from this financial matrix and start earning for yourself, I can help you with a soul-based business mentorship. This is where we connect with your soul and its instructions on how to bring your abundance in via business, right? Soul never asked you to live in poverty. Let me say that. Soul never asked you to live in poverty. A toxic ass human did. You want to hear that one more time? Soul never asked you to live in poverty. At no point did soul say, promise me you will suffer. At no point did soul say, I'm giving you a gift, but you have to give it to everyone else. You can never, ever, ever allow yourself to receive this gift. Do you understand? When you listen to the guidance of soul and you start bringing in financial abundance and get to a place where you're no longer worried, you don't have to be filthy rich, but you get to a place where you're no longer worried about where you're going to get money for groceries, for utilities, for rent. You have what you need. Then you'll also have the time and the peace to begin fully cultivating the gifts that will benefit humanity. Soul never asked you to suffer. It never asked you to live in poverty. Let go of that mindset. Throw it away. Throw it away. You don't have to be filthy rich, but you do have to allow soul to take care of the needs so that you can focus on caring for others if that is what you're called to do. Now is the time for us to really step into our personal power. If you're not ready for all of that yet, simply join me 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here on this channel for the Empowerment Tea Party. There's a QR code, a link in the comment. 5:30 p.m. today, California time. I'll see you guys